Hey, it's Errol, and this is Vocal Defrag. I vocal defrag while out on this path in a forest in South Charlotte, North Carolina, usually somewhere right before noon, where the transition of time in the sky. The reason why I vocal defrag is because I'm asking the questions and questioning the answers, and I invite you to do the same thing, because we're always asking everybody else about what you should do in your everyday world and life, but we don't ask ourselves. Is it that you have been absent with yourself? No, you're present because you talk about it all the time. But why aren't you asking the questions and questioning the answers? I keep a written journal that I also call Defrag. I started that in November of 2017. Why did I start it? Because I had a breakdown. Why did I break down? How did I break down? What led to that breakdown? How can we help soothe the pain of the cause and effect of the breakdown? Asking the questions, questioning the answers. This is Vocal Defrag. The subject today deals with two sides of our personality. Is it in your head or is it in your heart? What's creating the pain and where do you feel it most? In the way you think or the way you feel? And can it be both? Or is one or the other convinced that it's going to be both? But it has to start somewhere. Asking the questions of, okay, what put me in this place of feeling so much doubt? I'll give you a good example. Podcast numbers come and go. If you live by the numbers, you're going to die by the numbers. Hasn't been one of the best months, and I have held myself accountable, and I have really shamed myself, thinking that it's 100% my fault. Well, in my Defrag journal, I ask the questions. So you really think you're losing, huh? Go in there and tell me what other countries in the world are tapping into your podcasts. See, suddenly it's not about me. It's about who's receiving what is shared through the podcasts. And I see countries like the UK, India, Brazil, Pakistan. You see that? That moment of doubt took me into a moment of truth. That you feel down because it's not as great as what you would like to see. But yet, you're still reaching. Now, in your own personal life, I've got to ask you again. Is it in your head or is it in your heart? Where is your question starting from? How do you move through that question? Because somewhere along the line, you're going to locate an answer, or all of a sudden, you're going to do like I did. You're going to locate shame, then guilt. Then we've got fear because you don't want anybody else to see where you are. Nobody sees your personal struggles, but inside your mind, you think everybody's got you covered. Asking yourself the question and questioning the answers. Moving through the storms by recognizing, how did I get there? Wow, if I would have done this instead, could I have avoided the situation that I found myself in? And the answer is, yes, you could have, but will it ever happen again? That's the thing right there. Sometimes I think that we are comparing ourselves to a future self that hasn't even been born yet. That we're going, oh boy, if I do this now, well, how am I going to react in the future? It doesn't matter how you react in the future. It's about what you're doing with your now. Asking that question. When I stopped painting on canvases, my blame was instantly put on a bad show in New Orleans. But really, was it the New Orleans show? Or was it that I was having doubt with what I was putting on that canvas? It seemed like everything looked the same. I wasn't taking chances anymore. I wasn't redesigning how it came to me to be an artist on a canvas. Whereas with podcasting, I'm constantly creating new shows. Why? Probably because I allowed the art on the canvas self to die, to go away, to be silent. Asking the questions, questioning the answers. Where are you receiving your pain? Is it in your head or is it in your heart? Because one of them has got to prove to be the stronger one. And when you start understanding that the heart is so easily poisoned by what you think, how you think, where you're taking your thinking process, all of a sudden your heart goes, I don't have it anymore. What do I have to do, Mr. Head, in order to be stronger? Well, this is what you've got to do. You got to be in doubt. You got to be in fear. You got to have that guilt trip going on, because that's how you're going to get stronger with faith, and you're going to reach through that storm, because the darkness doesn't keep you away from the light. You keep yourself away from the light. Wow, how motivating is that, huh? So where's it at? In your head or in your heart? There's a reason why I defrag. I ask the questions from my heart, and my head, through stream thinking, has to come up with an answer without sitting there hemming and hawing and being a perfectionist with a pen in my hand. Coming into your moment of now needs to know the answer. Is it in your head or is it in your heart? One of them has to be the leader. I'm Arrow, and that's Vocal Defrag.